everyone, my name is Tahukan, and happy Friday the 13th. Unfortunately, there's no Friday the 13th movie coming out this Friday the 13th. Before I do get into that review, I'm going to give you guys a few facts. Fact number 1, I've read the book It. Fact number 2, differentiating between the book It Chapter 1, and It Chapter 2, when I can't say that mouthful all the time, is going to be difficult. Fact number 3, I did not see It Chapter 1 until 2019. I decided back when the plan was for the sequel to be in 2018 that I'd just wait and watch It before I saw It Chapter 2. I think you see my dilemma here with the movie name. It Chapter 2 got moved back to 2019, but It was out of theaters, so I figured I'd still wait because I didn't see much of a point because I wanted to go with my plan of seeing them back to back even if it meant waiting a lot longer. Now, seeing them back to back was a really good experience. I was impressed with the adaptation of the book in the first one, particularly in the parts that changed, with only one change bothering me. The roles of Ben and Mike were switched from the book. Essentially, it went from Mike being an important character to utterly useless. Compared to what I've seen of the It miniseries from 1990, though, I thought it was superior. It Chapter 1 is an 8 in my semi-expert opinion. It's a suspenseful coming-of-age story that definitely could have benefited from an extra 30 to 40 minutes, but wasn't damaged without it. It just made it a far more marketable movie, which is why I feel they did that. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, it's time to talk about the main reason you're watching this video. It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2, or as I'll refer to it from here on out, Pennywise 2 Electric Boogaloo. No, that's stupid. It 2 is a bit of a drag, to be honest. Having read the book, the movie is enjoyable, makes sense, and is once more surprisingly accurate adaptation. All of the Losers Club, played now by a mix of veteran actors and relative unknowns, are used effectively, and of course, the terrifying Pennywise of Bill Skarsgård returns. But if you haven't read the book, the movie is less focused than its first chapter, includes things that have basically no relevance or purpose, and feels more like a vaguely spooky cosmic horror that most viewers won't even know is a thing, that relies on creep factor and jump scares. Something that It 1 used sparingly but effectively. It built up tension, but I wasn't really scared all that much through It Chapter 1 either. In any case, the scare factor in both is focused largely on Pennywise, more so in the second one. And obviously, if you're scared of clowns, it's gonna affect you a little bit more. I don't like clowns particularly. The flaws within It 2 are solely because it adapts a lot from the book without explaining the necessary elements to make it work. The thriller side of Henry Bowers is gone, and left in its place is 3, maybe 4 scenes with adult Henry that amount to pretty much nothing. They carry over some of the events from the book, but they do not use them effectively or enough to even understand why Henry is still part of this narrative. The movie, which takes place over nearly 3 hours, somehow feels like it needed way more time to actually hold up to the same level as It Chapter 1. It feels a lot more like a movie for Stephen King fans and less open to the audience it welcomed in the first one, which is an interesting thing to do. Regardless, it doesn't seem to be affecting your profits much. Outside of the story, a lot of the dialogue was inconsistent, once again including references to the book, but just weren't used in It Chapter 1. I'll imagine it's weird if you don't understand it. To me, I got it, but having to place myself as a critic and in the eyes of what a viewer's going to see, I think it's going to be confusing and drag you out of it a little bit. For instance, beep beep Richie, a phrase often used in the book and in the miniseries, is used once in each film. Twice total in the 2 movies that have come out in the last 3 years. The first is by Pennywise in It Chapter 1 and it's used as an intimidation tactic and as a fair reference.
Beep beep Richie.
The second is an actual saying in the same context of the book, but makes absolutely no goddamn sense whatsoever. Often I will call a writer a twat if I feel they're being kind of stupid with the way they're doing shit. That's not the case with this. I feel like it was just a misguided attempt to do a proper adaptation. So if you've read the book, it's a cool reference, but if you haven't, it drags you out of the moment, something a lot of the dialogue unfortunately does on its own. Comedic lines were used in It Chapter 1, and a sense of levity was mixed into the coming-of-age story that made it how good it was. Now, in this one, comedic lines fill a lot of the movie, taking it almost entirely out of the vein of mainstream horror that the first film tried to get, and as I said, thrusting it into a vaguely cosmic horror setting that's spooky more than anything else and feels much more like a black comedy. A genre I like, but that's not the intentional tone I felt they were going for with this. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Unlike most films where the tone doesn't fit what I felt the director and writer were aiming with the script and as they were filming, I don't think it's necessarily a negative thing here. I think it just depends on what you're looking for in the movie, which is why I'm mentioning it. Despite that, it is enjoyable, but I really don't know how someone who hasn't read the book will feel about it. I saw it with a friend, and she and I both have read the book, so I don't really have someone's input to take off it. Sometimes if there's something I don't understand, I do talk to other people to get their take, so I do present a more balanced understanding. Anyway, I had a ton of fun watching It Chapter 2, and some of the scares did get me, but I can't help but notice the glaring flaws that would almost certainly appear as poor writing or bothersome to a new viewer. Overall, I give It Chapter 2 a no cosmic space turtle out of 10. That's a 7. It's a good deal less impressive and compelling than the first film. Part of that is owed to the fact It was a coming-of-age story, and It Too was devoid of that important part of the first and the book as a whole. An interesting thing I'd like to finish this out on is the director, Andres Muschietti. I'm probably butchering that, and I apologize. Firstly, I'd like to praise him for keeping the visual style fresh and presenting an excellent vision of Pennywise and Derry. Pennywise is the closest he's ever been to the book, but the interesting thing is he's in talks with the studio to release a supercut version of It, which he says will combine both films and nearly an hour and 30 minutes of new scenes, plus different takes from the already released films, because he liked certain shots over others, but they work better for the final cut, to create a 6.5 hour long It movie. I hope they let him. I don't think it's very likely they will, because, I mean, it's a lot of money for a studio to put into production, and it would take a lot of time, but who knows. I hope that that hour and a half of cut scenes from both films is exactly what It 2 needs to float. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video and want to see more like it in the future. I'm probably going to do a horror month in October, so comment horror movies you'd like to see me review. I'll still do normal videos throughout, but I may try and really do a focus on that. I don't know. You guys let me know if that's something you think would be neat. Check out my Twitch channel. I stream there nearly every day. Right now I'm going through Gears 5, which is a fucking excellent game, so you won't want to miss that. And if you haven't caught up already, the VODs are all there for you to watch. You can also join my Discord to check out my Letterboxd account to see all of my ratings. If you'd like to help support me making more videos like this, you can visit my Patreon or merch store, and I've just added new Patreon tiers, including getting your name at the end of my videos, or I can read you the message at the end of a video. So thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Huge thank you to Patreon supporters Anonymous and Matt Porter. I really appreciate it.